Isn't life expensive enough? Well, according to Jeremy Clarkson, food prices should be double what they are amid the cost of living crisis. Jeremy Clarkson also opened up about the problem that almost saw him quit Clarkson's farm. Fans are concerned about Simon Cowell. Johnny Irwin says he was axed from his show after his cancer diagnosis, and more. Stick around until the end of the video to make sure you don't miss out on anything. But first, Jeremy Clarkson says food prices should be double what they are amid cost of living crisis. While people around the globe are complaining about prices soaring, Jeremy Clarkson has now said that people in the United Kingdom do not pay enough for their food, as we're literally in the middle of a cost of living crisis. Clarkson bought an Oxfordshire farm back in 2008, which has been run by a local villager up until 2019. When the villager retired, Clarkson decided to see if he was able to run the farm himself. His endeavors were documented for the Amazon Prime TV series, Clarkson's Farm, which has been critically acclaimed for its cinematography, combined with the lovable group of staff that doesn't shy away from telling Clarkson when he's being useless. The timing also allowed the show to capture the difficulties the farm workers had to face during the pandemic. And while the success of Clarkson's Farm had visitors flock to the diddly squat farm shop, buying out everything from chutneys, jams, rapeseed oil, to cow juice, this wasn't enough for Clarkson, as he now claims that food prices should be double what they are at the moment. Caleb Cooper, Clarkson's co-star, recently revealed that he only pays himself 50p an hour for his work on the farm. After having broken down all the costs involved in running a farm, Clarkson says that isn't enough for farmers to get up in the morning, but they're doing it anyway. But he claims that's the only thing a government will never say, that people aren't paying enough for their food. Next up, Jeremy Clarkson opens up on a problem that almost saw him quit Clarkson's Farm. Running a farm comes with many obstacles, and one thing every farmer worries about is money. Jeremy Clarkson has been honest about the financial worries that almost made him walk away from the diddly squat farm right before making a sharp U-turn after he was given some good advice. Clarkson wrote about the whole experience in his column for the Sunday Times, when he realized that the chemicals he needed to fertilize the land had risen from 200 pounds a ton to more than 1,000 pounds a ton, resulting in upwards of 130,000 pounds. This left Clarkson wondering whether he wouldn't be better off taking up wilding and going to bed for a year. That's when Andy Cato, local farmer and Groove Armada founder, gave him some neighborly advice and introduced Clarkson to the idea of growing wheat and beans simultaneously and testing your crops to see what it is they need, as opposed to spraying your crops with something random. Clarkson says that co-star Caleb Cooper, who considers himself a traditional farmer, wasn't too pleased about the changes. But Clarkson says it's all about the bottom line at the end of the day. And while he'll admit that you may grow less, you also spend less, which all adds up in your profit margins. And Clarkson didn't have to spend a year in bed after that. And now, fans are concerned about Simon Cowell, say they don't recognize him. A Britain's Got Talent promotional video of Simon Cowell has fans extremely worried that something is wrong with the presenter, as some say they can barely even recognize him in the footage. Cowell shared a clip on Twitter in order to scout contestants for the upcoming season of the ITV talent show. But whatever his message was, it went largely unheard, as fans were instantly taken aback by his new appearance in the clip, which has since been deleted. While he was probably expecting to get lots of comments to express excitement for the new season of the show, the comment section was instead flooded with concern. Many fans said that it looked like Cowell's face was melting, with some pointing at the work he had done to his face. Cowell has previously opened up about having plastic surgery done, and has even admitted that he might have gone a bit too far with it. He said he'd been confronted with a before picture of himself and didn't even recognize himself at first. The latest clip of the judge change has many fans convinced he's gone down the same road again. As David Young put it, "Well, I'm torn between my general hatred of Simon Cowell's TV shows and being alarmed by how he looks these days. I'm going for the latter this morning." What do you think is up with Simon Cowell? But wait, there's more. Next up, A Place in the Sun's Johnny Irwin says he was axed from the show after his cancer diagnosis. Our Yorkshire farm was canceled. What will replace it? And Amanda Owen speaks out for the first time since the cancellation of Our Yorkshire farm. Stay tuned for all the details. Now, let's continue. First up, A Place in the Sun's Johnny Irwin says he was axed from the show after his cancer diagnosis. Johnny Irwin, a former presenter on A Place in the Sun, says he was left heartbroken after he was allegedly kicked off the popular show after he was diagnosed with cancer. Irwin recently opened up about the devastating diagnosis, which has left him with only months to live. Now the cancer in his lungs has spread to his brain. Irwin says that he first started noticing something was wrong when his vision went blurry while he was driving in 2020 while he was filming for A Place in the Sun in Italy. Irwin explained on Good Morning Britain that he initially kept his diagnosis a secret because he didn't want people to treat him differently. "I wanted to keep it secret because professionally, I didn't want to lose work, but also socially and emotionally, people treat you differently and will start making decisions for you," Irwin told presenters Susanna Reid and Ben Shepherd. And by withholding that information, Irwin was able to continue living a normal life right up until about a year ago. That's when Irwin started to look a little worn, and comments started coming in worrying about his health. Irwin claims that his contract for A Place in the Sun was not renewed after he told producers about his diagnosis, who claimed they were unable to keep Irwin on because they were unable to secure adequate insurance to cover Johnny while filming internationally. Next up, Our Yorkshire farm was canceled. What will replace it? Fans of Our Yorkshire farm were devastated when the news broke that the popular series had been canceled, though fear that this was going to happen had been echoing for a little while. The last series ended in April of 2021, and fans have been asking Amanda Owen regularly when they could be expecting season 6 to come out. Amanda regularly posts updates about her life on Instagram, which is where it was confirmed that she and her husband of 21 years, Clive Owen, had decided to split. Since the break, Amanda has stepped away from Ravenseat, and the future of Our Yorkshire farm has been in doubt ever since. But those who aren't ready to say goodbye to this lovable bunch just yet don't have to grieve for too long, as Channel 5 did not waste any time in commissioning a new series called Beyond the Farm. The new show will see if Ruben's unique childhood has prepared him for adult life in the real world, and he'll get his hands dirty working with his father, Clive. Aside from that, Beyond the Farm will document the highs and lows of Ruben's first year in business, as Clive, Tom, and girlfriend Sarah join him during this critical time of his life. Though Amanda won't be making an appearance on the show, there will still be enough familiar faces for Beyond the Farm to feel like coming home. The first episode will air on the 6th of December, 2022. And lastly, Amanda Owen speaks out for the first time since cancellation of Our Yorkshire farm. Amanda Owen has been quiet since the news of Our Yorkshire farm being canceled broke. The news came shortly after Amanda and Clive had come to the impossible decision to end their marriage of almost 2 decades. And while her son and ex-husband, Ruben and Clive, will go on with a show of their own, chronicling their adventures as they venture into business together, it's unknown what will happen with Amanda and what she'll do after Our Yorkshire farm. Amanda's first post since the cancellation of the show that followed her life for 4 seasons is a video of herself driving a tractor as she's spreading manure across her farmland. The video is captioned, "Another day to deal with. Good job it goes with the territory, followed with a whole bunch of hashtags, including hashtag spreading it, hashtag boring, hashtag media hype, hashtag non-story, hashtag be kind, hashtag my R's. Fans instantly took to the comments to comfort the Yorkshire shepherdess, sending her well wishes and motivational messages, and many of them praising her for doing it all. Some wondered why their favorite shows keep getting canceled, and Amanda must be wondering the same thing. And that's it for now. Do you think food prices should be doubled as well? Let us know in the comments what you think. Thanks for watching.